Hello everyone, this is Sid here and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be doing a very special video. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to combine two fandoms? I'm sure you have, especially if you're a member of multiple fandoms, such as I'm a member of the Wings of Fire fandom, the Warrior Cats fandom, the Hazbin Hotel fandom, and many more. Those just being my favorites that I absolutely love. Many people like to do fandom crossovers because it's just a fun thing to do. See what you get when you combine this with this or that with that. So today, I decided to combine two of my favorites that I mentioned before, Wings of Fire and Hazbin Hotel, and see what I got. So without further ado, let's get into it, shall we? The first person that I decided to make as a dragon was Charlie. And if you've not watched Hazbin Hotel, Charlie is the main character. She is the hotel heiress and the one who creates this hotel in order to rehabilitate sinners. Basically, what Charlie believes is that even though she and all the other sinners in hell were bad at one point in their life, if they become good in their heart, they can ascend to heaven. Which is a very beautiful belief, honestly, if you ask me, because it's just showing how even when someone does something bad, you can still have hope that they will become better, and in some sort of sense, give them mercy. But basically, I just decided to do Charlie in this very, formal pose. I'm not exactly sure why, because Charlie is not at all a very formal person. She's, very energetic and exuberant, giving off all of these emotions to everyone else, but she is the leader of the hotel and the princess of hell. So I decided to depict that in her posing, and basically what I did for most of these was I just kept them essentially the same, really. I just gave them their hair like how they had in the actual show, gave them their outfits to the best of my ability. Sometimes it is hard drawing actual outfits on dragons because dragon proportions are a lot different from human proportions, and I decided to keep most of their colors and stuff the same. But one of my favorite things about this was that I could do wings and wing patterns, because wings are really the super cool thing about dragons. So for Charlie, I just decided to do a very light pink wing because that's sort of like Charlie's color scheme, along with literally almost everyone else in hell. Everyone has some sort of red or pink on them. It's lovely though. I love it. It looks like eye candy. I can't stop looking at it. But I decided to add these hearts onto her design because one of the things I also liked doing was combining the normal forms and the demonic forms. So when Charlie gets really mad and she grows horns off her head and her eyes turn red, then that is her demonic form. So during that form, she has a little tail, which is how I drew the tail on the dragon, another feature that we don't get in humans. And she has, of course, those red horns, which I drew in the back of her head. And I was going to draw some more little horns on the top of her head because I saw she had those, but I kind of ended up forgetting about that. So that's too bad, but it's okay. And I decided to draw Charlie with these hearts because in her demonic form, she has this certain little dress on, which I do believe has some sort of hearts on it. And Charlie is she's that type of character who is really represented by hearts. Hearts really represent who she is. So I decided that it would be very fitting. But anyways, the next one that I drew was Vaggie. And I feel like Vaggie would be a good dragon because she's very fierce and intimidating and imposing. And I really wanted to catch that in her pose, so I gave her this very striking demeanor. I gave her a spear to hold, sort of like how she did during the song with Carmen or whatever, when she was training her to become a better warrior and fight against the extermination angels. So I gave her that spear. She's holding it upright next to her chest, and she's looking down very aggressive, And I really do love Vaggie's color scheme, especially because everyone else in hell is so bright and of course with all the reds and pinks like how I mentioned earlier, but Vaggie is a lot more like toned down, especially in her pilot design where she only really had different color grays. But I just love how she's very like monochromatic gray, and she has all of these like patterns and stuff on her, because you know, it's kind of hard to tell what like creatures Hazbin Hotel characters are based on. Like, I didn't even realize Alastor was based on a deer until I saw his antlers come out of his head. I was like, oh, he's supposed to be a deer? But yeah, apparently Vaggie is supposed to be a moth. So that's very cool. I do love moths. They're very interesting creatures, and I do feel pretty bad for them whenever they run into the window at night and get stuck there on the glass and can't move. Very traumatizing, very sad. But Vaggie is a strong moth, and I love Vaggie's hair. I had to draw that, and her beautiful bows. I feel like it's kind of cute because like Vaggie dresses up all preppy, like in this very nice uniform, and with this bow on her head. The bow definitely doesn't fit her personality. The uniform might fit her personality because she's very like strict, you know, and serious and stern. But the bow just makes me think of like JoJo Siwa, and that just doesn't fit Vaggie's personality like at all. So I think it's kind of a juxtapose or foil to her character, which is really unique. And I decided to draw Vaggie's wings the same pattern as her hair. So I just gave her those like lighter and darker strips along the side, and that was complete. Vaggie looking nice as always, and very, very aggressive. Our lovely little bean. The next one that I decided to draw was Alastor, also known as the Radio Demon. And I had a blast drawing Alastor because he's one of my favorite characters. He's actually the only character that I've drawn before doing this video in actual human form. And I loved doing this one because I was able to combine the antlers from his demonic form to his usual form. And of course, Alastor is the one who has lots and lots of red. Like, his whole entire color palette is red, except for his skin, really, which is gray. Which I thought was pretty interesting, because I feel like everyone has white skin, except for the angels, who have gray skin. Because Vaggie and Lute and Sarah and Emily and Adam, who are all angels, all have gray skin. But then, how come Alastor has gray skin? Is it because Alastor is an angel? I'm not sure. I'm sorry I'm going into like a little miniature theory here, but maybe he is, because some people theorize that his soul is owned by Lilith, who is currently in heaven. So there can only be one way for that to happen if Alastor was an angel and he met Lilith in heaven. I don't really think Alastor could be an angel, considering how he was like a cannibal and serial killer. But I mean, I don't know, it's kind of cursed, so whatever. Anyways, Alastor has that very dark red color palette, sort of like blood. I feel like that's probably what it's meant to imitate, invoke those sorts of gory, gruesome feelings, because Alastor is such a violent and psychopathic character. But I just now noticed, actually, that I'm pretty sure the shape in his pupils when he goes insane is supposed to be a little record disc. Because at first I just thought, like, well, these are just weird pupils. Because they kind of looked like goats, if you've ever seen, like, goat pupils, or very, like, oval shaped, you know? I thought it was like that, but I actually think it's supposed to be, like, records. So I guess maybe, like, if he was a radio host, maybe he had one of those, like, radios that play in your car, that play you music, but he would, like, talk in between. Maybe he had that, and so he had to have those records. Maybe that was what was in his eye. So I decided to put that record pattern all over his wings and draw it like that. Please ignore the sounds. That's my brother. He's gaming in the room next to me. But yeah, I decided to draw Alastor with all of those record motifs and with the antlers. And I think he does look very fun. I think he actually is probably my favorite out of the dragons, just because, like, he looks so good as a dragon. I can totally see him like that. And I love this little pose that I gave him where he has his arm extended out, because it's sort of like he's striking up a deal, like how he always is. Alastor loves to make deals. Deals which can be pretty bad if you're someone like Husk who gets stuck in between them, and that's a pretty bad decision, because then you have your soul given to someone very dangerous, and that can be good. But yeah, the last one that I decided to draw was Lucifer. And of course, Lucifer is a fallen angel, but Lucifer has white skin. How does that work? I'm not sure. But whatever. I decided to draw him with his normal sort of appearance, with his like white color scheme and his pink stripes. I think it's really cute how he has pink stripes, because it kind of makes him look like a little circus person. And I'm not sure if Lulu World was supposed to be a circus, because apparently Lucifer has an amusement park called Lulu World, sort of like how Mammon has an amusement park called Lululand. And Lululand really is sort of like a circus, but I'm not sure if Lulu World was supposed to be more like Disney World. Octavia does say that it's the better version of Lululand, which is the rip-off version of Lulu World. But I think it does make him look sort of like a little circus person, which is pretty interesting. And especially also because he has that top hat on, which I think is really cool, because like, he's supposed to be the king, of course, so he would have like a crown. But I feel like having the crown on top of the top hat is a lot cooler and more creative, because I've never seen that before anywhere else. And of course, since Lucifer was a fallen angel, he's the only one who actually has wings from the get-go. So even though I couldn't really be creative with what wing design I wanted to give him, it was still really cool, and I really did enjoy drawing the wings. He has 6 wings. I don't know why. I don't know if 6 has a sort of like, well, yes, it does. 6 3 times is the mark of the beast. But 7 is supposed to be like the heavenly or like angelic number, from like 7 heavenly virtues and 7 days of creation and all of that sort of stuff. It's always 7, but nothing really about 6 except for the mark of the beast. But he has 6 wings, so that's a really cool detail. And his wings are red, which I thought was pretty interesting. It's just a really interesting detail. But anyways, that was it for Lucifer, and for all of them, because I only drew those 4. But if you want me to, I will draw more in the future. I'll draw Angel Dusk and Husk and Serpentious and Nifty, and maybe more if I get requests to do more. But anyways, those are all that I did for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to like and subscribe, because it always helps me out so much when you do, and I really do appreciate it. It helps to boost my YouTube channel into the algorithm so that more people like you can see my content, which is always an amazing thing, because I do love to share my art with the community. And it helps you so you can stay tuned and get notified whenever I post new content. You will never miss a single upload, and you will never be bored, because I post very, very frequently. I post multiple long-form videos per week, and I post multiple short-form videos per day, actually. I post almost constantly, so you will always have something to watch. And anyways, I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video. Always remember that I love you, and goodbye!